Hi, I'm Nadine and I'm happy to present our work, Long-Short View Feature Decomposition via Contrastive Video Representation Learning. In this work, we're interested in learning representations from unlabeled videos that are useful for a diverse set of downstream tasks. These tasks can be very different and therefore may require different features. For example, action recognition is a very popular downstream task to evaluate unsupervised video representations, and it is well known that the standard datasets are inherently biased towards static features. Temporal action segmentation, on the other hand, requires much more fine-grained temporal features, and ideally we would like to capture both types of features. However, learning such diverse features in a single representation may be suboptimal. For example, supervised pre-training on action recognition may result in a representation that is not ideal for temporal action segmentation. Therefore, we propose to decompose the representation space into so-called stationary and non-stationary features, and we extend the standard evaluation via action recognition with another downstream task, namely temporal action segmentation. This allows us to better evaluate our model's ability to represent temporal variations in videos. So, what are stationary and non-stationary features? To get a better intuition, let's consider the following example. In this video, there is a bartender in a bar mixing some cocktails. The stationary features should capture the parts of the video that remain the same over time. For example, there is a bartender in a bar and static objects in the foreground and background. The non-stationary features, on the other hand, should capture the parts of the video that vary over time, such as holding the bottles, pouring the left and the right bottle. The stationary feature enable the prediction of the overall action class of the video and are therefore useful for tasks that require static features, such as action recognition. Non-stationary features, on the other hand, enable temporal distinctions, such as predicting when happens what, and are therefore useful for tasks that require more fine-grained temporal features, such as temporal action segmentation. In order to learn these stationary and non-stationary features, we will use contrastive learning from long and short views. So long views are longer video sequences as shown on the top, and short views are their shorter subsequences as shown on the bottom. The stationary features, which are shown in yellow here, they remain the same over time, so they are shared between the long and all of the short views. The non-stationary features, on the other hand, aggregate over time. So when we combine the non-stationary features of the short views, we obtain the non-stationary features of the long view. Now we will use this observation to construct our positive pairs in contrastive learning. First, we extract the features of the long and short views using a shared backbone F. And then we split the resulting feature vector up into two chunks, which correspond to the stationary and non-stationary features. The stationary features are shared between the long and short view, so they serve as a positive pair in our contrastive loss for stationary features. The non-stationary features, on the other hand, aggregate over time. So we use an aggregation function g to aggregate the non-stationary features of the short views to obtain the positive for the non-stationary features of the long view. And this serves as the positive pair in our non-stationary contrastive loss. Additionally, we also apply an instance recognition loss on the full feature, which corresponds to standard contrastive learning via augmentations. Next, we validate our hypotheses empirically. To that end, we pre-train a model on the kinetics dataset without using any labels and then evaluate it via two downstream tasks, namely action recognition on the UCF and HMDB dataset and action segmentation on the breakfast dataset. Furthermore, we provide several ablations on the impact of the individual loss terms and different design choices of our method. Finally, we perform some feature decomposition analysis where we investigate whether our model learns long or short-term features and how they behave over time. we find that stationary features are stable over time, whereas non-stationary features vary. In the interest of time, we will focus on the evaluation via downstream tasks. For more details on the ablations and analyses, please check out our paper. First, we evaluate our model via action recognition on the UCF and HMDB dataset. More specifically, we evaluate via fine-tuning, which is shown in the left table, and retrieval, which is shown in the right table. Here we outperform the previous methods on the HMDB dataset, whereas we see mixed results on UCF. Next, we evaluate our method via temporal action segmentation on the breakfast dataset. As you can see in the two example videos below, the background, actor, and even objects often remain the same throughout the video, requiring the model to segment the video based on small temporal variations. Furthermore, the pre-trained model serves as a frozen feature extractor, so there is no fine-tuning involved. We train an action segmentation model on top of these frozen features and provide both qualitative and quantitative results. We compare our method with several baselines, namely with a model with randomly initialized weights, a model pre-trained with kinetics labels, and a model pre-trained with standard contrastive learning. Here we outperform even a supervised baseline across all metrics by large margins. And furthermore, we observe that our non-stationary features are superior to stationary features, validating that they are better suited for representing small temporal variations. Thank you for your attention.